It's tricky because Google's building they have this gigantic sail-looking building near the river. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's going to be a bunch of wokesters running around from that place. They're going to have to fill that building up, and then you got. Is there a more woke corporation than Google?
Yes.
Which one?
Microsoft.
Really?
Did you hear that thing Ben Shapiro did?
No.
Oh my God.
I didn't hear it. What did he do?
He did. It's so funny that I went and listened to it again, recorded it on my phone off my computer just so I could text it to my friends. So they had this thing where
I saw the thing
where everyone introduced
with
themselves.
their pronouns and they describe themselves.
You're right. So I would say, "Hi, my name is Peter Attia. I'm a light-skinned guy with a shaved head wearing a green shirt. I go by he, him."
Yeah. And you would say Caucasian probably.
Yes, I would, right.
Yeah.
But then one of the women said, "Before we begin, I would just like to state that our land, the land that this building sits on, was actually once owned by," and she rattled off 17 tribes.
Yes.
At which point, my brother was like, "Well, just show me the title deed. Is it yours or is it theirs? Because if it's theirs, you really should give it back."
What is happening? What's going on? But Microsoft, which is interesting, they were never like this. What? All of a sudden, they went full tilt. They just went from 0 to 11. Right? They don't have a history of ads that were woke.
I don't know. It has provided.
Give me some volume on this because it's so stupid.
And lots in store for you. First, we want to acknowledge that the land where the Microsoft campus is situated was traditionally occupied by the Sammamish, the Duwamish, the Snoqualmie, the Suquamish, the Muckleshoot, the Snohomish, the Tulalip, and other Coast Salish peoples since time immemorial. A people that are still here, continuing to honor and bring to light their ancient heritage. My name is Allison Wines.
Give back
I'm
their
a senior
land.
program manager in our developer tools division. I'm an Asian and white female with dark brown hair wearing a red sleeveless top.
I'm watching
I'm
this.
Seth Juarez, program manager in the AI platform group. I'm a tall Hispanic male wearing a blue shirt, khaki pants. Today we kick off 2 days of learning more about the latest solutions, exploring how these key innovations can empower you to do great things, and connecting with
They
peers
didn't tell their
around
pronouns.
the
The other folks told their pronouns.
Was that for hearing impaired people?
It's for visually impaired.
It's
which is the greatest irony, right? It's we want the people who can't see our color to know our color.
Ooh, right.
It literally is the most logically inconsistent thing you could ever have with what we think are the right values.
That's interesting. How much racism is there amongst visually impaired people?
Well, apparently there'll be more now because we get...
But I mean, if you really stop and think about it, they can't make that distinction. They can only judge people based on how the people communicate with them.
Yeah.
They can't look at someone and prejudge. They're probably the least racist people alive.
Well, we're going to fix that.
But all the fucking shit about the thing that's ironic is she's describing all the different tribes that have owned the land. Well, why do you think there's so many? It's because they killed each other and stole the land from each other. What the fuck are you saying? There was Michael Knowles had this conversation I watched on YouTube where this woke professor, was trying to say that we should give back land to native tribes. And he was like, okay, but which ones? You got to decide which ones because the Comanche took it from the Apache, took it from the... Right. And he was going through the history of it. It's how do you decide? Do you go back, well, the Comanche took it from you, but you took it from the Navajo, but the Navajo took it from the Pawnee, and
I'm going to ask her, because she'll know.
It's so exhausting. What is happening to us? This wokeness.
It's easy to say the pendulum's going to swing the other way, and it probably will, but my brother actually said this, and I think he's accurate. It's not a pendulum, it's a wrecking ball. Right, a pendulum implies just this benign little thing that's going to go back, but it's not. It's going to go,
right,
and it's going to kill a bunch of people and ruin a bunch of lives and careers on the way back to some reasonable equilibrium.